gotta take this in. You guys look phenomenal. You look great. I know why. We're all sleeping better, aren't we? How many of you are sleeping so much better since January 20th? I curl up every night with the sweetest dreams, and watching what President Trump has accomplished and done in 1 month is so incredible. Every day feels like Christmas Day, and every night feels like New Year's Eve. We got something to celebrate. And I want to thank Matt and Mercy for bringing us all together to celebrate this amazing month that we've had. Hasn't it been great? It's been wonderful. You know, a lot of you know about my life in politics, but before that, I had a 30-year career as an award-winning journalist. I was the voice of Arizona. If you're from Arizona, you know that. And I walked away from a very high-paying job in the corporate news during COVID-19 because I just wasn't willing to lie to the public. We had such lies going out toward the public, and I had to ask myself the question, was this huge paycheck that I was earning worth the cost of my soul? And the answer was no. And that is a question that a lot of people in the media right now and the bureaucrats in DC should be asking themselves at this moment. How much is the paycheck? How much is the money worth it? I'm very, very cynical when it comes to the government. It's just how I was raised. I grew up with Ronald Reagan as my president. Anybody else as a kid have Ronald Reagan? And remember his warning? His warning was the 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." And boy, was he right. But now the tables have been turned. And the 9 most terrifying words for the government are, "We're from DOGE and we're here to audit you." When Elon and the boys show up, I think they're a little nervous, aren't they? I prefer a hands-off government. Am I alone in that? Hands off. Unfortunately, our government has one hand around our throat, and we're finding out the other hand is in our pockets, and they're robbing us blind. And thanks to DOGE, we've learned that our tax dollars are going to pay for luxury hotels for illegals in Manhattan, circumcisions in Mozambique, transgender operas in Latin America. It's terrible, it's theft, and Social Security benefits to 150-year-olds. The only 150-year-old I know is Joe Biden. I mean, this is, and apparently there's millions of them. There's even people that are over 150 that are allegedly getting all of this, these paychecks. So that's just the tip of the iceberg in Washington, D.C. It's really kind of like the D.C. creature is like an animal infested with ticks and parasites. From the work-from-home bureaucrats to the handouts and carve-outs and pork, the entire D.C. economy and the surrounding states thrive off of the freebies. But it's not free for us, the hard-working Americans. We're the ones funding this. Our money is lining these swamp creatures' pockets. We're paying off their friends. We're funding the fake news to broadcast this insane narrative across the globe. It's terrible. And knowing all of this and knowing how the odds have been stacked against us, it makes what happened on November 5th even more of a miracle, right? And we got to thank God for that. We got to thank God for that. We, the people, worked, we rose up, and we said enough is enough. We've had enough of this. And now, thanks to President Trump's radical transparency, we are learning some cold, hard facts about our government. I've never felt more betrayed by the government and, frankly, the media mouthpieces back in the fake news. This is the biggest scandal of our lifetime, the biggest fraud ever perpetrated on humanity, and any real journalist would be dying to cover this story. Unfortunately, we're still surrounded by too many fake journalists out there. Have you noticed they're grasping at their pearls, acting offended that the fraud is being uncovered? They're offended that we would question the bureaucracy that spent money trying to perform sex changes on monkeys while claiming that FEMA is too broke to help Americans. I'll tell you, the purpose of the mainstream media is no longer to inform us, it's to manipulate us. Have you been following the AP drama? Have you heard about this? It's known as the Associated Press. I kind of think of them as the anti-American propagandists. They're very, very mad about the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, they have no issue with swapping out Kiev for Kyiv or switching the spelling of a country named Turkey. I didn't even know it was possible to spell that another way. But they have just been horrified by this name change. Remember, these are the same people who didn't want to call riots riots. They wanted to call them mostly peaceful protests. But they will die on the hill of refusing to call that big, beautiful body of water between Texas and Florida the Gulf of America, which is what it is, by the way. And don't get them wrong. They are not making some big principled journalistic stand. It's just fake controversy by a bunch of fake journalists.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.